Baek is a light tank who scales with defense and is arguably the best breaker in the game. He's also the only unit in the game who has a break light effect on his standard basic attack. His basic skill, Ferocious Spirit, deals a lot of damage, has an 8-second cooldown and has a break medium effect, while the White Flame Gale Kick also has a break heavy damage effect, and his QTE also inflicts break medium damage and has high damage scaling. To fully understand Baek, we have to look at his unique passive ability, the White Flames. When the effect reaches 3 stacks, it activates Violent Explosion, dealing damage equal to 400% of the user's defense and applying defense decrease to the target duration infinite. And the defense break is 20% for 10 seconds. Noteworthy here is, except for his basic attack, all of his skills are able to apply the White Flame effect. So for Baek, it's a similar strategy to Seo. You definitely want to start off with the QTE skill, followed by his Ferocious Spirit, and then with the White Flame Gale Kick. The really important part is, because his skills have long durations, you want to make sure that all your skills connect, because only the last hit of Baek can inflict the White Flame debuff on the target, and once it reaches 3 stacks, we get a defense break of 20%. Additional piece of information: when using Baek, you want to have him mostly on the second slot or even first slot, but ideally you want to run him on the second slot because he has the defense break mechanic when he reaches 3 stacks, and then once you QT into your third or second DPS unit, there is a defense break on the target to further increase the damage you deal. Baek's ultimate skill, the White Flame Strike, is a very strong damaging skill and has the highest multiplier of any other character in the game, and it also has a defense decrease effect. Based on Baek's abilities, I have a couple of recommendations for you. The first set to run for Baek is either the Solid Analysis, which increases the break damage by 15% and increases the break effect by 30%. Alternatively, you could run a full Toughness set, which gives him additional crit hit rate of 8% and additional crit hit damage of 32%. And if you're feeling cute, you can also run the One-Hit Kill set to increase his ultimate skill damage by 25% and also reduce his cooldown by 40% for his ultimate skill to cycle it more often. When it comes to the accessory sets, you either want to run the Viridescence set to also increase the damage output and decrease the cooldown reduction effect by 18% to cycle his skills more often. Otherwise, you can also run the Executioner set. When the enemy drops below 70% HP, the damage increases by 20%. Or you could even run the Skeleton set as well. When he drops below 70%, his damage increases by 30%. For Baek's main stats, for the helmet, you want to have defense percentage. For the boots, you want to have either defense percentage or critical hit damage. For the first ring, you want to have light damage because he scales off it. And for the second ring, you want to have defense percentages. The ideal substats for Baek are defense percentages, defense penetration, critical hit rate, critical hit damage, and damage increase. When it comes to his ideal weapon, you either want to run his SSR exclusive weapon, which is his best in slot, or alternatively, you could run any of, or more or less any of, all the SR weapons which are available. You could either run the book to increase his power gauge acquisition rate. You can also run the bow to get additional critical hit damage, or you could also run the staff, which gives additional power gauge by QTE skilling, or even the shield to just decrease the damage he gets while he's locked into his animations. And this sums up everything you need to know about Baek Yoonho. Thanks guys for watching, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to see more in the future. Deuces.